with Jeremy from Sky Sports News. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Hello, Ashley. How are you doing?
Hi.
Obviously, a huge story before play with Jofra Archer. How let down did you feel?
I don't know about let down. It's not sort of cool you want late the night before a test match, I guess. I think Jofra knows. I think Jofra's demonstrated how sorry he is from his statement, but it's clearly very disappointing for the whole group. But he's a young man, and young men make mistakes, and you've just got to learn from them.
Do you expect him to be missing from the next test as well?
No, look, there'll be a disciplinary process to go through, and that's ongoing. And that's really as much as I want to say on that. It's obviously an employment matter, so I say that's ongoing, and we'll settle that in good time.
It's been suggested today that he went to see his girlfriend. If that was true, what would your reaction be?
Well, we know Jofra went home, and look, it's not great. Everyone was aware of what we were asking of them and why. Any normal circumstances, the act of going to your house, going home in between matches is absolutely normal and acceptable. But clearly there's a lot of work, a lot of money gone into setting up this biosecure environment. And there's also a lot at stake from, this match, this series, this summer, and financially things much bigger and beyond that. So, we are asking a lot of the players to stay in these environments for long periods of time, but it is for good reason. And of course, this series, with the help of the government and certainly the help of our opposition as well, in this case the West Indies, this series was set up under these circumstances, in these conditions, with these protocols, and we have to abide by them. And everyone has to abide by them. So, Jofra was fully aware of what the circumstance was.
And just finally from me, Ashley, people are asking today why the team couldn't have gone on a bus and why they were driving independently from Southampton to Manchester.
Yeah, look, I get that question, but the advice we took originally was it was probably safer to keep the players away from each other in the case, if there were an infection and you've got everyone on one bus, then you've got a real problem. Of course, originally when the players got together, they would have been in individual cars for that same reason. So they're tested on arrival, and until we know everyone's clear, then the group doesn't really come together. Beyond that, look, we trust these men, whether they're young or not, to make the right decisions. If you know, again, what the protocols say and what's expected of you, it's a simple choice, and I don't think we can cover every eventuality in or out of the bubble for people making wrong decisions. But again, show me someone who says they've never made a mistake, and I'll show you a liar. It's we've all made mistakes in our lives, and Jofra's a young man, and he will learn from it, and we will support him through it, and he'll move on.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeremy. We'll go with Rory and then Will Macpherson.
Hi, Giles. I appreciate it's a very different circumstance, but we talked before the World Cup about a player making a loss of trust with the group, and that's Alex Hales, and he hasn't been seen since. It's a different circumstance, but does Jofra risk losing the trust of his teammates?
I think that there are different circumstances, Roy, and I don't think trust is something that's lost or gained over one incident or one incident. So they are different in that. Jofra's been around this team almost probably as long as I have. I've been around the team slightly longer in this role, and this is the first issue I've had with this very, very good addition to our team. He's a fine young man, incredibly polite, works incredibly hard, and is a great asset to this team. On this occasion, he got it wrong. We have to support him. There has to be consequence. to every action. There always is, and as I mentioned, there will be a process we'll go through, but that balance with support is equally as important in this case.
Thank you. Will?
Ashley, could you tell us anything about this disciplinary process? Is it one for CDC? Will it be conducted internally by team management? Anything you can offer there?
It will be handled internally, yeah. That's as much as I can tell you, really, but it will be handled internally.
Okay, we'll go with Lizzie and then Dean Wilson, please.
Hi, Ashley. Was there any thought, obviously, when you got the call last night, to bringing in either Jimmy or Mark, or are they just too stiff?
That's a selection decision, Lizzie. So I'm not really involved in that. Obviously, they will communicate with me on what that decision is, and I found out late last night what they want to go with, but I'm not involved in those discussions.
Okay, Dean, please, and then we'll finish with Stefan.
Hi, Ashley. We understand that the person Jofra went to meet has been tested subsequently. Can you tell us whether that was a man or a woman?
I don't know, Danny, can I?
No, you can't confirm that. An individual.
Okay. The individual is tested negative, so that's a really, whether they're male or female, that's a really good story for us. Well, that's
not as good a story for us.
It could have. I'm not making light of this in any way, but this could have been disaster. A small act, the ripple effect this could have had through the whole summer, could have cost us tens of millions of pounds. So, hopefully we can look back on it, and Jofra, as I said, can learn from it. And he will learn from it, I'm sure. But, the potential knock-on effect of this, I don't think he could have totally understood. I think we made it very clear of what we expected and of what the protocols mean, but maybe he didn't quite understand what the consequences could be.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I'm not trying to make light of it either.
No, I know.
You might have answered this already, but can you just tell us what your immediate reaction was when you found out what had happened and the potential ramifications?
Probably that, a long, deep sigh. I've had a lot of calls from Nick Pearce at different times of the day, and one quite so late at night, maybe I'm not sure, but it's not a great call to receive at any time, but and it's not a great call for me to make, I think, when I rang Tom Harrison 2 minutes later. So but it's part of the job. You kick into gear, but certainly I talked about the West Indies. They've done a lot, and huge amount of respect to the West Indies team for coming here and playing this series. And we risk jeopardising all of that with one decision. So that certainly crosses your mind. And when you're responsible for that group, whether or not you could do anything about that decision, you do feel responsible and accountable. And for all the actions of these guys, I respect each and every one of them. We've got a fantastic group of players. As I say, none of us are perfect, but you treat them like your own sometimes, and it's a bit of a broader family, if you like, but you certainly care for each and every one of them.
Thank you.
Okay, last question, Stefan from the BBC. Thank you.
Hi, Ashley. Are you able to tell us how long Jofra was at home for, please? If it was noticed that he turned up in Manchester maybe later than everyone else, and how it came to light that he had been home?
I don't think it was a particularly long period of time, and given the distance between Southampton and Manchester, and that players were tested when they left Southampton, or everyone was tested before they left Southampton at different times. So people were in transit at different times throughout the day. whether they took different routes or not, I don't know. But I don't think it would have been that easy. We don't necessarily check everyone out and check everyone in. I think, again, the trust bit is important. Sorry, I've got another call. The trust bit is really important, and we do trust these guys, and generally, we see them out in the middle make really good decisions. Again, this instance, he got it wrong, but he's human.
And how you found out? How did it come to light?
I got a call, but we found out as a group. Jofra had informed one of the members of management, and that member of management passed it on. It was the right thing to do, escalated quite quickly from there, I guess.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Thanks, Ashley. Appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah, catch you soon.
Thanks, guys. You take care.